Hi and welcome to this Garden Gnome software screencast. This screencast is looking at Pano2VR and its drag and drop interface. But what I want to do is look at the probably not so obvious areas you can drag and drop within Pano2VR. So let's start off with adding images. Now we're probably all aware we can drag and drop a single image onto the desktop or dock icon for the Mac and it'll open up the project with that image. However, if you've got Pano2VR Pro, you can drag and drop a folder full of images onto the dock icon or the desktop icon, and the project file will open loading those images just like that. Okay, whilst I've got this open, I can just also quickly tell you that if you've opened Pano2VR without any images, or if you've got some images loaded, you can always drag more into either the viewer to add them to the project or the tour browser to add them to the project as well. Okay, I want to take this one step further. I've got three folders here. I've got a Google Street View project. It's got 3 levels. So what I've done is I've split the panoramas into subfolders, and each subfolder represents a different level. Now the idea is that I can open up Pano2VR and I can just quickly select all those folders, drag them into the viewer. Now what's going to happen is Pano2VR is going to load all the input images, but it's using the folder name as an auto tag. So all the folders or all the images in the folder L0 get that tag. All the third floor panos in L3 get that tag, and of course we've got L5 for the 5th floor. So when we come to the Google Street View export to add the levels in, it's just a case of double click add, double click add, double click add, and that's all of my panos added to the different floors. Now of course each folder or subfolder can contain many hundreds if not thousands of input images, so rather than having to tag them all, if you put them into a subfolder first and drag them in, you can see this makes tagging very quick indeed. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is save the project, so file save. The thing you've got to remember is that Pano2VR will try and save its project file to the first image folder. What you need to remember to do is come up a level and save it to the main project folder. There you go. So that's all of those images saved, and that's the project file saved for Street View. Okay, and what I'm going to do now is open up a new project. There we go. And what I'm going to show you now is ways of dragging and dropping in media into the viewer. As an example, I've got an MPEG-3 here. I can drag and drop it into the viewer, and that adds a sound file. I can also drag and drop in a video, and that adds a pinned video file. As I'm dragging and dropping in these files, you'll see that the viewer is changing its mode. So the last thing I dragged in was a video, so the viewer changed to video viewer mode. And the other thing I'm going to show you how to do is you can drag and drop in a picture. Now as it stands, if I drag and drop in a picture into the viewer, it will add it to the tour browser as an input image. What I need to do is select image viewer mode, then I can quite happily drag and drop an image in, be it a panorama or a still image or whatever, and it will act as a pinned image within the viewer. Okay, with that done, let's just delete all these as I don't really need them. And what I'm going to do now is show you how to drag and drop nodes in to create hotspots. Right, so if I want to link between this node and the second node, all I need to do is drag and drop from the tour browser into the viewer, and that sets up a hotspot with the node type of tour node. It'll pick up the user data title, and you've got the link target here where it's going. That's quite cool. Right, the other thing you can do is if I've got a polygon and I want to link that to another node, I just draw the polygon. There we go. And then I can drag and drop that node into the polygon, and then that sets up that polygon to go to that node. Right, cool. Right, if your input images have GPS data, when I drag them into the viewer, you'll see that we have these two auto place areas. Now auto place and auto place both ways. What I'll do is I'll drag into auto place both ways, and you'll see that it adds the hotspot for me, or it's lined up the hotspot because it's using the GPS data to position the hotspot where it should be. And if I hold down the Alt key and click the hotspot, I can visit that node. Now the first drag area would only link into this Pano. But as we selected link both ways, if I spin it around, you can see I've got an active hotspot that allows me to come back. There you go. But hotspots are not just for changing nodes, we can use them for pop-ups. So if I open up a website, so if I open up Safari, I'm going to go to a YouTube video. Here we go. So I'll stop that, I'll pause that. Well, what you can do is if I wanted to add a YouTube pop-up, I just select my YouTube video and I can drag and drop the URL into the viewer, and now that's added a YouTube hotspot. So you can see there it's got type video, sources YouTube, it's added the title, and it's added the target URL. I can also do the same thing with Vimeo. So if I select a Vimeo video, you can see that I can do exactly the same thing there. Here we go. And I can also do the same thing with a video that's been hosted on a server, just as long as the file extension is a video file type. So I can also drag that now then into the viewer. Here we go, and it adds it, and you can see it's a video with source URL. Okay, I can also drag in a picture. So if I've got a URL that ends with a picture file type, in this case a JPEG, I can do exactly the same thing. So add a pop-up image or add a image hotspot. And of course what I can also do is go to a website and add a website hotspot. There we go. So that's that. If I just close this now, what we're going to do is publish this and open. Here we go, and you can see that there's all the icons. So we've got the website icon that will open up a website. We've got the picture icon that will open up a pop-up picture, and of course our 3 video icons. So we've got the YouTube one here, we've got the Vimeo one here, and we've got the video that's being served on the server there. There you go. Right, so that's adding or dragging and dropping hotspots from the web browser. Okay, moving on, let's open the skin editor. So what I'm going to do is change skins because I have a different project. I'm going to undock the Tor browser, and what that'll allow me to do is if I open up the skin editor, I can now minimize Pano2VR, but I'll still have the Tor browser showing. Okay, so things we can drag and drop into the skin. Well, I can drag and drop an SVG button. So there it is. I can drag and drop it down there and position it or anchor it down there. I can add a image, so it could be a PNG like this, or it could be a JPEG or a GIF, and I'll actually anchor that top right. There we go. We can also drag and drop in MP3s. So if you've got button click sounds that's a very small sound file, you can actually add it into the skin. So as you drag and drop it, it adds it under its sounds folder. There you go. And then any button, you can then give it the action to play that particular sound on click. Okay, so that's adding sounds. We could also drag and drop in video files. So if I drag and drop in an MPEG-4, it automatically opens up a video element and with the path to it. So that's quite cool. That makes adding that very quick. And we can also, if I open up an external loader to show a picture, if I open up the external image, you'll see that we've got a file path here. I can once again open up Safari, select a picture. As long as the URL ends with a picture file extension, I can drag and drop that in, and that will now add the picture to the external loader. If we just preview that, you'll see that there is the externally loaded picture. Okay, cool. I'll get rid of that. The other thing is you can drag and drop nodes in from the Tor browser into the skin. You can do this if you've got a marker template. Now the Simplex skin comes with a marker template. It's hidden inside the hide template folder, and there's also a couple more that can be found in the components forum. But once you've added it to your skin, basically what it does is it enables you to drag and drop node images from the Tor browser into the skin to add map pins. So we can do this. So there's one there. I can drag and drop another one in there, and drag and drop another one in there just to quickly show you. So now when I preview the I actually know what I need to do is select all of these and make them a child of the map image. So now when I preview it, you see the map and you see the node markers. It's also picking up the user data title as well. So that's quite cool. All right, so that's adding nodes just by purely dragging and dropping. Right, if I select a map pin, you'll see that the target, you can drag and drop from the tree into an action if you wanted to change the target. So if I wanted the target to be image, I could drag and drop that in there, let it go, and it's now image 1. I actually do want it to be the radar, so I'll just put that back. So there we go. The other thing you can do as well is if you had, if we go to the node marker, you see it's got a drop down combi box. Now this will accept tags or node images. If I had my user data panel open, I could drag and drop a tag and the tag would appear in here. In this case, what I've got is I'm using tour nodes, so I can actually drag and drop different tour nodes in here as well, so you can see that working. Okay, reason being for this is if you had thousands of input images and you wanted to select one, that's an awful big list. So what you could do is use the tour browser and its filter to get to the Pano that you particularly want. Then you drag and drop it into the tour node and that's job done. There you go. That's all the different areas you can drag and drop within Pano2VR. And as always, thanks for watching.